So again, on this quiz, there is a time when I have used a different number for this than I did for the initial quiz. So for this quiz, on your quiz, it says $2,350 and 2.9% and 4 years. So I'm over here calculating the wrong amounts of money. If we calculate how much money, the question is how much money will they have after 4 years? Forrest put $2,350 in savings account and earns 2.9% simple interest annually. After 4 years, how much money will he have? Well, we know that the interest is equal to the principal. Simple interest is equal to the principal times the rate times the time. And so the interest is equal to the principal, which is $2,350, times the rate, which is 2.9%, times the time, which is 4 years. And so that is going to be 2,350 times 2.9% times 4. I get $272.60. And then after that, so that is the interest, but it doesn't ask what the interest is. It asks how much money will he have. And so the amount of money that you have, the total amount of money, is your principal plus your interest. So in this case, Forrest has $2,350 in the bank plus Forrest has earned $272.60. So Forrest should have $2,622.60 total. So if you gave me this one, you probably got like half credit. But if you wanted full credit here, you needed to show me the total amount that you will have. Let me know if you have any questions about. So final problem of the regular test. Again, there's a little change here in your quiz versus the quiz that I have written here. On your quiz that you took, you should have had 5.0. So the question is, how much more money, and this actually should also say less. I believe we talked about this. How much less money will you pay for a house with a 4.625% simple interest than you will with a 5.0% simple interest if it's a $547,000 house on a 30-year loan? So the question is just how much more will this interest go up? So in terms of figuring this out, we know that the interest is equal to, again, the interest is equal to the principal times the rate times the time. And what we're doing is we're comparing two different loans here. So one loan is $547,000, 30-year loan at 4.625%. So let's write that one in. We have $547,000 times the rate of 4.625% times 30 years. And then we have another loan that is the same loan, except it's at 5%. So $547,000 times 5.0%. So here our percent increase is 0.375%, and that's not very much, or it doesn't seem like very much. But the question is, how much more is it over the course of a long term with a large loan like this? So for me to calculate 547,000 times 4.625% times 30 years, I come up with the number $758,962.50. That is just the interest that I will pay on this loan over, this says the life of the loan, which is 30 years. So this is how much we will pay for 30 years. So over the entire life of the loan, that's how much we're going to pay off. And then $547,000 at 5%, just a little bit more for the same amount of time. If I were to calculate that same thing, then I would get $820,500 just in interest. So that's how much we're paying just in interest for both of these. Now, that's not how much I'm going to pay over the life of the loan, because this is the interest, I also have to pay the principal off, so I also have to pay this amount. But because I have to pay the same amount as the principal for both of these, there's not really a difference in there. So that doesn't really help me calculate how much more or less I'm going to pay, because that's the same for both of these things. So what I really need to do is I just need to subtract one from the other. So when I subtract them, if I do 820,000 minus 758,962.5, I come up with I typed that in wrong here. 758,962.5 minus 82,0500. I come up with a difference of $61,537. So once we know that we will be paying $61,537 and 50 cents more with the 5% loan than with the 4.625% loan. I know that is over the course of 30 years. But if I wanted to just know how much more I pay per month, then I just need to basically divide this up into months. So if I know that I am paying $537 and 50 cents, then I just need to figure out how many months there are in 30 years. And so I know that 30 years times 12 months is 360 months in a year. So I'm just going to take this number and I am going to divide it by 360. And that should give me how much more money I am paying in 1 month's, on a monthly basis. So 61,537.5 divided by 360 is $170. $170.94 or 93.75 cents. But I'm just going to round up to 94. So that is one way you can figure it out. Another way that other students figured it out was to divide the amounts of money that you pay in interest by 360 each, and then figure out the difference in those, and you should come up with the same amount of money. That is the rest of problem 6. Okay, so for the high proficient for this one, you had these numbers, and it was asking you to calculate the values of the unknown variables. So the first thing, so the reason this is highly proficient is because we didn't talk very much about similar figures. We took notes on it, but we didn't really go beyond that. And so in order to figure out, the things that we know about similar figures are that they have all the same angles, but they also have but they also have proportional side lengths. So in order to go, if I know they're proportional, then if I can find one corresponding side and figure out what I need to multiply it by to get the other corresponding side length, then I can use that to go around the circle. And there are a number of different ways that I can use this. I like to start with what do I have to multiply 17 by to get 76.5, because I see that this is one of the corresponding side lengths where I have both of the sides. You can see that I don't, for these two sides that correspond, I don't have both pieces of information. I also don't have both pieces of information for the bottom edge, and I don't have both pieces of information for the right edge either. But for the top, I do. So in order to figure out what am I multiplying by here, I need to do 76.5 divided by 17, and that is going to give me the scale factor here. So when I do that math, I come up with 4.5. 76.5 divided by 17 equals 4.5. So that means that I am multiplying 17 times 4.5 to get the corresponding side on the new shape. And if all of the sides are proportionate, that means that I will be doing the exact same thing with all of the other sides. So I would multiply, if I have 15, I'm also going to multiply that times 4.5, and 15 times 4.5 here is 67.5. So I know Z equals 67.5. And then the other things that I need to know are that if I go the other direction, so if I know that if I'm going from left to right here, I'm multiplying by 4.5, but if I go from right to left here, if I go the other way, I am dividing by 4.5. So if I want to figure out what X is, I need to do 36 divided by 4.5. And when I do that, I get 8. 36 divided by 4.5 equals 8. And then the last one, if you figured those ones out, that's great. The last one, though, is a little bit trickier. So I know that to go from this side to this side, I still need to divide by 4.5. And so 67.5 divided by 4.5, we actually have this math on here. I know 15 times 4.5 is 67.5. So going the other way, that means that this is going to be equal to 15. But that does not mean that y is equal to 15. What it means is that 5y is equal to 15. And so in order to figure out y, you have to go the extra step and divide by 5 and get y equals 3. So you should have y equals 3 for this last one, because 5y is equal to 15. So 1y can only be worth 3. So that is all of the practice test and the highly proficient, or that is all of the test and the highly proficient. Check your answers and let me know.